Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Shashi Shekhar Prabhu, good to see you. Happy Sunday morning.
Happy Sunday morning, Mataji.
Okay, so I'm just setting up my Facebook here, so just give me a few minutes.
It is live on Facebook, it says.
Yes, I'm live on Facebook, but I need to adjust some volumes, etc. Otherwise it reflects, right? Because I need to play it to see the comments there on the big screen, so that's how it goes. Yeah, and somehow, as soon as I make it go into the big screen, and maybe it's a setting, it puts the volume, although I put the volume to 0, it puts the volume to maximum again. So that's where the problem is. Okay. Anyway, Hare Krishna, Dilip Bhai Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Prabhupada. So good to see you here on Facebook.
Yash Prabhu is here too.
Yash Prabhu is here, and Khyati Mataji, and Varshana Mataji, and of course, Shashi Shekhar Prabhu was always there with me here today morning. So, well, let's just get going real quickly here. So, I believe I had the Vigyapti Panchaka prayer somewhere over here, and we'll get started with that.
Okay, Mataji.
After the to the special master. And today is a short day, right? Today is a short day, short class. We'll try to make the most of efficiencies. So just stay alert.
Suyash Prabhu, I'll be right back. Don't put my name. I'll be right back.
All right. That's good. That's good. It's good to have that feeling.
What I say is, give me a minute. I just need to drink some water. I'll be back.
Yes, please bring your water with you. Yeah, like that. Okay, so I'm sharing the Vigyapti Panchaka prayers. Can somebody confirm that they can see it?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, and you see the lower part of it,
yes,
right?
We got it.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, all right. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Welcome, Anshu Prabhu, Vidyavati Devi Dasi, and Neha Mataji also on the call. Om Jnanatimarandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Matsamo nasti papatma naparadhi cha kaschana parihare pilajjame kim bhruve purushottama yuvati nam yata yuni yunam cha yuvatau ratha mano bhi ramate tatvan mano me ramatam tvai bhumau skalita padanam भूमिरेवावलम्बनं त्वयि जाता पराधानां त्वमेवा शरणं प्रभु गोविन्दा वल्लभे राधे प्रार्थये त्वाम् अहं सदा त्वदीयम् इति जानातु गोविन्दो मां त्वया सह राधे वृन्दावनाधीशे करुणामृतवाहिनी कृपया निज पादाब्जा दास्यं माह्यं प्रदीयताम्. All right, so let's go with the translations after Suyash Prabhu gives us the reading order.
Reading order is Varshana Mataji, Khyati Mataji, Nirul Prabhu, Shashi Shekhar Prabhu, Suyash, Manasi, Shraddha Mataji.
All right.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Augusha Prabhu.
All right, Hare Krishna. So we'll squeeze in Ishwari Radha Mataji before me, and she'll go after Manasi. Is there anybody else who joined on the call?
No.
Okay, good. Yeah, so please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Sonia Suruchi.
Hare Krishna, Sonia, and are you able to read today?
Yes, I'll be reading
Okay,
today.
good.
Thank
All
you.
right, good. So you'll do after Ishwari Radha. Okay?
All right.
Okay.
All right.
O Purushottama, no sinner or offender is as bad as I am. How can I describe my shame? Just as the minds of young ladies take pleasure in a young man, and the minds of young men take pleasure in the young woman, kindly let my mind take pleasure in you alone. Hare Krishna.
Just as the ground is the only support for those whose feet have slipped, you alone are the only shelter for those who have offended you. Next person can read. My Prabhu will come and join from the next one.
Shisheka Prabhu, are you there? Maybe not. Okay.
Here, I'm here.
Good.
O Srimati Radharani, beloved of Lord Govinda, this is my request. May you and Lord Govinda consider me one of your assistants.
Srimati Radharani, O Queen of Vrindavana, you are river flowing with the nectar of mercy. Please be kind to me and give me a little service at your lotus feet.
All right, very nice. So what time is it now?
6:36.
And it is time for what?
Reflection.
Yeah, that was intentional, by the way. It was not planned. Okay, and we see that Divyangi has also joined us today. So Divyangi will go after Soni Suruchi Mataji, and yeah, after her I will go. So time for reflections, and then also those of you joining us on Facebook, please do type in your reflections there, and I'll try to catch them. And welcome Barsha Shrestha Mataji for joining us here. Good to have you on the call. And Garima, can you read today? No? Okay, no problem. Yeah, you're inside, I see. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah.
Karunamrita Vahini.
Karunamrita Vahini. Okay, good. Twameva Sharanam Prabhu is what Vidyavadhu says on Facebook. Okay, good.
Mataji, I also said, Tameva Sharanam Prabhu.
I always say that the Pune devotees are in sync, always. There's some invisible connection between Varshana and Vidyavadhu. They always come up with the same thing every day. Okay, and welcome Rinku Mataji. Yeah, go ahead, give us some more words.
Karunamrit Vahini.
Karunamrita Vahini, and we see Vijaya Mataji also joining us here. So Suyash Prabhu, you have a busy morning today.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam.
Surya Mata. Surya.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Shobha Radhe Mataji, Dandat Pranam. So good to see you. Okay, good. Yeah.
Prathe tvam aham sada.
Prarthaye tvam aham sada. Yeah, there's a lot of power in prayers, right? Beyond a certain point, even the so-called, doctors and other people say that we have to leave it to God, right? Yeah. Rains are not coming, fire you cannot do, coronavirus we can't control. Prarthaye ham tvam sada. Yeah.
कृपया निज पादाब्जा दास्य मायम प्रदीयतु.
Kripya, where are you, Mataji? Okay, here. I'm trying to see on the screen. Yeah, see, you got that memorized, right? Are you all feeling that you have got some verses, some phrases here and there, That's the power of repetition. And one of the things that we will just pray to the prayers and focus on the words, and we'll be praying, and then other things come automatically. And that is what one of the verses in Shrimad Bhagavatam says, that when you do devotional service, knowledge is a concomitant factor. It comes by itself. And you can see it happening. Bhagavatam, just is a literally marvel, and sweet things are written there, and they don't actually happen. They do happen, and they are happening to you.
And also, Mataji, you read every day in like a different tone, so that also helps, to pay more attention.
Yes, it's a very good technique also for memorizing things, to make it difficult, a little bit difficult for you. And so you would have noticed that when you're memorizing a verse, and by the way, our Ishwari Radha Mataji, chapters after chapters after chapters of Bhagavad Gita memorized, Sanskrit slokas like that, She's just humble, she doesn't quote.
Very bored.
Yeah. And so she can attest to that when you're learning a particular verse or particular chapter, then your whole focus is on that, because you don't know the verse, you don't know the flow, what comes before, what comes after, like that. And as you memorize it, and as it becomes like your hands play, as they say, that they second nature to you. That's what I was looking for. As it becomes second nature to you, then we stop paying attention. It becomes second nature, and it goes on like that, right? Which is still okay, because these are transcendental words, but the power will be even more. The potency of your prayers will be even more if you're focusing on that. Right? So that's the joy of the holy name, that it acts nevertheless. Remember, like the sun I was saying, which was behind the clouds, but it'll still has the capability of giving you a sunburn. Similarly, if you are chanting the holy names of the Lord, because they are transcendental, you will get the effect. Like if there's an iron rod, you're putting it in the fire and not looking at it, still it'll get burned. The temperature will go high, it'll become red, right? So it happens. But if you're focusing the attention, the results are much more quicker to obtain, and the better it is for us to. And we talked about the moods and our modes of material nature yesterday, right? So the faster we go to the higher stage, which is, what was it called? What was
Sattva.
Yeah, Shuddha Sattva or Vishuddha Sattva is, sometimes it's also referred to as that. So that's where our aim is. That's where we need to go. Like that. Good. Yeah. Very good, Prat. Yeah. So should we go to chapter 2 now? And yeah.
Yes, Mataji.
All right. Okay. Priya
You
Krishna,
want me to share the screen?
good to see you here. Say that again.
You want me to share the screen, Mataji?
Please, yeah. If you are ready, please share. It will save us time. And who goes next?
Mansi Mataji.
Okay. Contents of the Gita summarized. Text 1. Sanjay said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion, his mind depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudana, Krishna, spoke the following words. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets but to infamy.
O son of Pratha, do not yield to this degrading impotence. It does not become you. Give up such petty weaknesses of heart and arise, O chastiser of the enemy. Arjuna said, O killer of enemies, O killer of Madhu, how can I counterattack with arrows in battle men like Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of my worship?
After Ishwari Dada, it will be Divyangi? Is it? Or Suruchi?
No.
Suruchi Mataji.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. It would be better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of the lives of great souls who are my teachers. Even though desiring worldly gains, they are superior. If they are killed, everything we enjoy will be tainted with blood. Nor do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. If we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. Yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield.
Now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I'm asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. I can find no means to drive away this grief which is drying up my senses. I will not be able to dispel it even if I win. Oh, sorry, I can't see chat. Even if I win a prosperous and reviled kingdom on earth, with sovereignty like the demigods in heaven.
Vijaya Mataji. Text 9. It's she talking on mute?
Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Sanjaya said, having spoken thus, Arjuna chastised of enemies, told Krishna, Govinda, I shall not fight, and fell silent. O descendant of Bharata, at that time Krishna, smiling in the midst of both the armies, spoke the following words to the grief-stricken Arjuna. Hare Krishna.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you're mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any one of us cease to be.
As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth, to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception. O son of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Mataji, it is Sion or Sion?
Cheyenne.
Sion.
Cheyenne.
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 Thank you.
O best among men, Arjuna, the person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and is steady in both is certainly eligible for liberation. Those who are seers of the truth have concluded that the non-existent, the material body, there is no endurance, and of the eternal, the soul, there is no change. This they have concluded by studying the nature of both.
Text 17. That which pervades the entire body you should know to be indestructible. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. The material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal living entity is sure to come to an end. Therefore fight, O descendant of Bharata.
Who's next? 19.
I think it is Shashi Shekhar Prabhu, but he said he will be right back. So Suyash Prabhu can read.
Okay.
Neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he who thinks it slain is in knowledge. For the self slays not, nor is slain.
It's a tongue twister there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
For the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain.
O Partha, how can a person who knows that the soul is indestructible, eternal, unborn, and immutable kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and the useless ones.
Who goes after Manasi?
Sorry, Madani. The soul can never be cut to pieces by any weapon, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. The individual soul is unbreakable and insoluble, and can be neither burned nor dried. He is everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same.
It is said that the soul is invisible, inconceivable, and immutable. Knowing this, you should not grieve for the body. If, however, you think that the soul or the symptoms of life will always be born and die forever, you still have no reason to lament, O mighty armed.
One who has taken his birth is sure to die, and after death, one is sure to take birth again. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. All created beings are unmanifest in their beginning, manifest in their interim state, and unmanifest again when annihilated. So what need is there for lamentation?
Okay, I think Vidya Mataji asked to be excused from reading. She's listening. So, Sriyash Prabhu,
Your turn,
I
Mataji.
can go in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then where do I start from? 27?
29, Mataji.
29, right? Yeah, if you can scroll that up. Okay, good. Some look on the soul as amazing, some describe him as amazing, and some hear of him as amazing, while others, even after hearing about him, cannot understand him at all. O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body can never be slain. Therefore, you need not grieve for any living being.
Considering your specific duty as a Kshatriya, you should know that there is no better engagement for you than fighting on religious principles. And so there is no need for hesitation. Text 32. Prabhuji, can you scroll up? O Partha, happy are the Kshatriyas to whom such fighting opportunities come unsought, opening for them the doors of heavenly planets. Hare Krishna.
If, however, you do not perform your religious duty of fighting, then you will certainly incur sin for neglecting your duties, and thus lose your reputation as a fighter. People will always speak of your infamy, and for such respectable person, dishonor is worse than death.
Text 35. The great generals who have highly esteemed your name and fame will think that you have left the battlefield out of fear only, and thus they will consider you insignificant. Your enemies will describe you in many unkind words and scorn your ability. What could be more painful for you?
O son of Kunti, either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain the heavenly planets, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up with determination and fight. Do thou fight for the sake of fighting without considering happiness or distress, loss or gain, victory or defeat, or by so doing you shall never incur sin.
All right, good. Hari Bol. So, reflection time, some keywords from all the reading that we did.
Now I'm a soul surrendered to you.
So, surrender to Krishna. Okay, you can stop sharing. Sriyash Prabhu. All right.
Mataji, some look at the soul as amazing, some describe it as amazing, and some hear him as amazing, while others, even after hearing about him, cannot understand him at all.
Yes, that's our condition. Yeah.
Today morning, when I was not able to get up, the word came in my mind: give up the petty weakness and arise. I was like, Krishna is suddenly sending the message.
Jeev jago, Gaura Chandra bole.
This shows that you are all the time thinking about Bhagavad Gita, my dear.
No, it is Krishna's way of saying that enough.
Devotee always thinks like that. So any other words? There are so many, and those of you watching us on online, please do. Even though desiring worldly gains, they are our superiors. Yeah, about the grandfathers he's saying. Thank you so much, Vidyavadhu, for sharing that. And my humble pranams to Nizdham Prabhu, to Rohit Katiyar Prabhu who's joining, Pramod Prabhu joining us. So good to see you there. Namazya Mataji is also there, and so is Anshul Prabhu and Pola Kumar Prabhu. Yeah, please feel free to share your reflections on Facebook. By the time any new things came up on Zoom while I was away?
Mataji, text 38 also is, I really I mean, of course,
And
all
what
are
do you
good.
like about what do you like about that?
No, get up and fight. Do not worry about the happiness or distress, loss or gain or anything. This is your Kshatriya's duty. Get up and fight. Mataji.
So,
That is what I
Kathy,
liked about
this is for you.
Sri Ankiti.
Get up. Yeah, sometimes we go into the mode of ignorance and we stop acting when somebody has to, bring you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else?
Happiness and distress are just due to the sense perception. They
Mm.
arise and they go, just as summers and winter seasons.
Right. And we had done that exercise and we had done that discussion about mind. And when we said that mind imagines pleasure, there's no pleasure in things. It imagines pleasure. And like, this is a laddu, this is a gulab jamun, this is a cup of ice cream. I'll eat it and I like it, and I'll be happy. And then if we hear a bad news, then the same ice cream doesn't taste good. So it means that the good taste is not coming from the ice cream, it's coming from somewhere else. That is the mind. It imagines the pleasures. So
That rings the bell from psychology. It says you are more happier just with the thought of going for a vacation than when you are going or when you come back.
yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not even happy at the thought of a vacation, because it's like, who'll take care of the tulsi? What's going to happen? Will I get prasadam on the way or not? Yeah, but you're right. Yeah. Okay, so let's go into our verse for
I also have Mataji.
Yes, please. Yes, there are a few days that you speak. We'd love to hear from you.
So I like the way they both are interacting with each other. Krishna says, "Oh, chastiser of enemies." Then Arjuna says, "Oh, killer of enemies." And Krishna was patiently listening, and when Arjuna just sat down, then only Krishna started giving lecture about soul and this, and then later he warned, now you will get bad fame if you don't do it. So first, the way they describe it is so nice. First he was patiently listening, then about soul, and the words, the characteristics of soul was also so nice that like yesterday also we heard the everlasting, joyous, and all these. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, thank you. That was, by the way, that was Arjuna speaking behind. So we have two Matajis who have named their sons Arjuna. One is Garima, of course, and then there's Preeti Radhika. Her son is also Arjuna, like that. Yeah. Yes. So yeah. So there's actually a question there from Preeti Sharma, which is not related to the topic, but I think it is still related to our life. So I'm just going to pick it up. And it's like, with a job, how do I find time to do 16 rounds? And I think that's a question that we all are facing every day, right? So if you're not able to do 16 rounds a day, what do we do? What's the next step that we do? If you're
8 in the morning, 8 in the evening.
Okay, so you split it. But if you're not able to do it anyways in a day, 16 rounds.
You hear, no? You can hear?
You can hear them. Okay, what else can you do?
We adjust our life.
You adjust our life. You adjust your life to do that. If you're not able to adjust your life, then what do you do?
You just do it.
That's our
Pray to Krishna to enable us.
Pray to Krishna to enable you, right? Yeah. Yeah, so what you should do is that, if all of these are failing, then it's time for us to rethink our goal, right? The goals have to be smart. And one of the one of the letters in the smart, the R means realistic, right? The goal has to be realistic. If you think that your condition, your situation in life is not like that, you have heavy pressures at work and things like that, recalibrate your goals and then go back to a smaller goal. And then, as you said, small daily increments, then just go in, because there will be yes, there is voluntary lifestyle changes that have to be done, splitting it has to be done and things like that, but it doesn't all these things just don't happen like that, right? If you have gotten into a habit or you got into a situation, try to get out of it. Small steps will take you out of it. rather than a big jump. We can take a jump, we can always jump from chanting 8 rounds a day to next day I can say be inspired by some chanter that you see chanting and you say I'm going to bump it up to 16, and then we fall flat because you have to jump to a stable position, otherwise we'll fall from achieving the goal. So I hope Preeti Mataji that helps you a bit, and thank you so much for joining the call here. Okay, so anybody else who's like to say something? Right, so let's do this. It's 7 o'clock already here. Let's begin. Right, let's begin and read the verse, which is verse number 2 from Bhagavad Gita today. And whose turn is it to read?
Myself, Mataji.
All righty, go.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha Kutastva Kashmalam idam Vishame Samupasthitam Anaryajustam Ashvargyam Akirtikaram Arjuna.
Very good, very good.
Synonyms. Sri Bhagavana Uvacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Kutaha, where from, Tva, unto you, Kashmalam, dirtiness, Idam, this lamentation, Vishame, in this hour of crisis, Samupasthitam, arrived, Anarya, persons who do not know the value of life, justam, practiced by, Ashvargyam, which does not lead to higher planets, Akirti, infamy, Karam, the cause of, Arjuna, O Arjuna.
Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets, but to infamy."
Krishna and Supreme Personality of Godhead are identical. Therefore, Lord Krishna is referred to as Bhagwan. Throughout the Gita, Bhagwan is the ultimate in the absolute truth. The absolute truth is realized in 3 phases of understanding, namely Brahman, or the impersonal, all-pervasive spirit, the Paramatma, or the localized aspect of Supreme within the heart of all living entities, and Bhagwan, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Krishna in Srimad Bhagavatam 1-11, this conception of absolute truth is explained thus: Vadanti tat tat vidas tattvam yaj jnanam advayam brahmeti parmat iti bhagwan iti shabdate. The absolute truth is realized in 3 phases of understanding by the knower of the absolute truth, and all of them are identical. Such phases of absolute truth are expressed as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan.
These 3 divine aspects can be explained by the example of the sun, which also has 3 different aspects, namely the sunshine, the sun's surface, and the sun planet itself. One who studies the sunshine only is the preliminary student. One who understands the sun's surface is farther advanced, and one who can enter into the sun planet is the highest. Ordinary students who are satisfied by simply understanding the sunshine, its universal pervasiveness, and the glaring effulgence of its impersonal nature, may be compared to those who can realize only the Brahman feature of the absolute truth. Next person, can you?
The student who has advanced still further can know the sun disk, which is compared to knowledge of the Paramatma feature of the absolute truth. And the student who can enter into the heart of the sun planet is compared to those who realize the personal feature of the supreme absolute truth. Therefore, the bhaktas or the transcendentalists who have realized the Bhagavan feature of the absolute truth are the topmost transcendentalists. Although all students who are engaged in the study of absolute truth are engaged in the same subject matter. The sunshine, the sun disk, and the inner affairs of the sun planet cannot be separated from one another. And yet, the students of the three different phases are not in the same category.
Shraddha Mataji,
Yeah.
your turn.
Okay. The Sanskrit
I
word.
jumped on it because some people were silent, so I just jumped
Yeah,
at
yeah,
it.
Yeah, that's fine. The Sanskrit word Bhagwan is explained by the great authority Parashar Muni, the father of Vyasdeva. The Supreme Personality who possesses all riches, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation is called Bhagwan. There are many persons who are very rich, very powerful, very beautiful, very famous, very learned, and very much detached. But no one can claim that he possesses all riches, all strength, etc. entirely. Only Krishna can claim this because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No living entity, including Brahma, Lord Shiva, or Narayan, can possess opulences as fully as Krishna. Therefore, it is concluded in the Brahma Samhita by Lord Brahma himself that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No one is equal to or above him. He is the primeval Lord or Bhagwan, known as Govinda, and he is the supreme cause of all causes. Next person, please.
Ishvara Parma Krishna Satchit Ananda Vigraha Anadir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. There are many personalities possessing the qualities of Bhagwan, but Krishna is the supreme cause. None can excel him. He is the supreme person, and his body is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. He is the primeval Lord Govinda and the cause of all causes. Brahma Samhita 5.1.
In the Bhagavatam also there is a list of many incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but Krishna is described as the original personality of Godhead, from whom many incarnation and personalities of Godhead expand. Next person can read. My Prabhu is not here.
Itecham shakala pumsa krishnastu bhagavan swayam indrari vyakulam lokam mradayanti yuge yuge. All the lists of incarnation of Godhead submitted herewith are either plenary expansions or parts of plenary expansions of the Supreme Godhead, but Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Bhagavatam 1.3.28.
Therefore, Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, the absolute truth, the source of both the Supersoul and the impersonal Brahman.
In the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna's lamentation for his kinsmen is certainly unbecoming, and therefore Krishna expressed his surprise with the word kutaha, wherefrom. Such impurities were never expected from a person belonging to the civilized class of men known as Aryans. The word Aryan is applicable to persons who know the value of life and have a civilization based on spiritual realization. Persons who are led by the material conception of life do not know the aim of life know the aim of life is the realization of the absolute truth, Vishnu or Bhagavan, and they are captivated by the external features of the material world, and therefore they do not know the liberation. What liberation is? Next person can go. Ishwari
Yes, Mataji. Persons who have no liberation from material bondage are called non-Aryans. Although Arjuna was a Kshatriya, he was deviating from his prescribed duties by declining to fight. This act of cowardice is described as befitting the non-Aryans. Such deviation from duty does not help one in the progress of spiritual life, nor does it even give one the opportunity to become famous in this world. Lord Krishna did not approve of the so-called compassion of Arjuna for his kinsmen. Haribol.
Haribol, thank you so much for reading. So Varshana Matiji, you are from a military background. So what happens if you scroll all the way to the bottom, this act of cowardice, where it says this act of cowardice, just a little bit about that. Yeah, this act of cowardice is described as befitting the non-Aryans. Non-Aryan, right? So if there's an act of cowardice in the war, what happens? Varshana Matiji? Can you tell us? Your husband must have told you.
Mataji, generally they don't Mataji, they are not covered at all when they are in the battlefield. They are always ready because they one thing is taught to them, which my husband told me, that never say no to anything. You have to say yes and you have to act on that. So when the order is given, they have to act on that and they do it, Mataji.
Yes. And what happens if somebody doesn't do it? Like apparently here Arjuna is saying, I won't fight. So what happens if somebody says, I won't fight, I won't fight? What does the army do to them?
Mataji, they don't send him. They, demote him or tell him to get out.
Yeah, the severe punishment. Sometimes you have to face the firing squad.
Yes.
So that's what, either way you're going to die. It's a better die.
Post-mortem is also there, right?
Yeah. Court martial, yeah.
Yes, court martial.
Court martial, not post-mortem.
Okay. Yeah.
Too much coding.
Very good. Yes. And so I'm just being cognizant of the time. It's such a nice discussion. What I will request you most humbly is to, if you have time today, go back and read this verse again. And tomorrow when we resume, I'm pretty sure this discussion will go on for more, much longer time there. Yeah. And for those of you who are watching us on Facebook, thank you so much for participating. And actually, I saw Nijdham Prabhu come up with a suggestion on if you're having difficulty chanting your rounds or doing your devotional service, he's saying reprioritize. And that's a very important step, a very important aspect that, where is all my energy going, right? And maybe I have my priorities wrong. Maybe, the first thing that I do in the morning is get up and see WhatsApp. And that's it. Then you get sucked into never land like that, right? So reprioritize. And what should be your top priority?
Chanting rounds in the morning.
Chanting the holy name.
Chanting your holy name should be, devotional service should be my top priority, and then chanting the round should be my top priority. And that's what it was for Khyati Mataji. Although she did not want to get up, her body was saying, don't get up. Her priorities were right. And she said, no, I am going to come, right? That's how she came. So yes, and thank you so much, Vinu Koli Mataji, also for joining us on the call, as well as Aura Grass. Thank you so much. And we'll meet again today and at the ISV call, which is going to happen at 6 o'clock in the evening, 5 o'clock in the evening, by a wonderful Sunday Feet lecture by Vaisheshika Prabhu. And then tomorrow we'll meet again at our usual time, 6:30 a.m. in the morning. So from now till then, Vanchikalpatu Byascha
Haribol बोलना है.
Gopremanande Hari Bol. Fantastic. Oh, we see Arjuna. Have a fantastic Sunday. Okay.
Arjuna doesn't want to fight right now.
Arjuna Arjuna's mom also doesn't want Arjuna to fight. Okay, Hare Krishna, Haribol. Those of you watching us on Facebook.